Welcome to the Pizza Party. My name is Troy from troysweb.com. That's troysweb.com. You can find links to my other channels, which are unique based upon the YouTube algorithm requirements. Today we're going to talk about joining the Pizza Party. And here is my very first script. And from here, we're just going to have pictures and the voiceover from my first try at making a YouTube video. Yay! This is kind of embarrassing, but let it rip. Hello, pizza people, and welcome to the Pizza Party. Today, we're going to talk about the purpose of this channel, and that is to encourage you to do something, even if it's wrong, right? Start making a pizza by modifying a frozen pizza or a take and bake pizza or whatever. I really hope that you have fun watching my videos and talking to other pizza people in the comments. I'm not going to try to be a perfectionist. Yes, I am. But I am going to flat out state I am not a pizza Picasso. I am not trying to do pizza porn. But you know, that's how some other channels do things, and that's not what's happening here, right? I'm going to be absolutely down to earth, bare bones, start from scratch, buy a frozen pizza, add some extra cheese, right? Build from there, put on some extra pepperonis, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, like I said, I'm not going to try to be a perfectionist or a pizza Picasso, but that is how a lot of my pizzas turn out, like a Picasso cubist or surrealist thing. And if you're not familiar with Picasso, he was a famous artist in the early 1900s. Well, maybe not. Maybe he wasn't that famous in the 1900s, but he is now. And many of his paintings did not look like what you would expect a portrait or landscape to look like. His style included a lot of cubism and surrealism, which I mentioned a moment ago. But his father was an artist. He was an exceptional realism artist when he was 14 and 16 years old. There are early works of Picasso. You can find them on AI or any search engine, Google image search, whatever, dude. But my point is that, you know, his goal wasn't to constantly make something perfect like a realism artist. His goal was to experiment with the art form, and it wasn't due to a lack of skill or mental illness, as many people have speculated about his surrealism and his cubism works. And looking at his body of work, he was just fooling around to find out. Yeah, I'm going to say that a lot here. Fafo. He was fooling around to find out, and made a lot of weird stuff that's like, you know, people with 3 eyes, 6 boobs, 2 noses, like, maybe not those specific things, but dude, go look at his work. It's crazy. But then again, you know, a lot of historical artists were very different than normal people, which is what made them historical artists, I guess. So that's kind of a perfect example of what you're going to get here. And from hanging around with me in the kitchen is random stuff off the shelf. We're going to talk about whatever comes to my mind and experimenting with pizza, ideas, tools, and materials. And I hope you enjoy the freeform factor rather than the, you know, the fancy camera and the great lighting and the bam, bam, of progression of they show you the dough, then they show you the cheese, then they show you the meat, then they show you the uncooked pizza, then they show you the cooked pizza, then they show you a half-eaten pizza. Yeah, I mean, hopefully maybe we'll get there. Maybe I'll copycat some of that, just make fun of those guys. But we're not going to restaurants. We're probably never going to be invited to the back room or the kitchen of a pizza restaurant to see, hey, teach me how to make a pizza New York style. No, that's not going to happen here, dude. It's me and you hanging out in the kitchen. That's it. If you don't like me, then don't hang out with me. If you like me, then please hit that subscribe button and do all the things. Now, listen. We're going to talk about whatever comes to my mind when experimenting with pizza, ideas, tools, and materials, as I said. But we're going to have... I want to clarify that we will have winners and losers. If you fool around and find out, you're going to find out that you win 80% of the time. There's almost nothing that you can call a bad pizza. unless you burn that. Okay, I've made a couple of bad pizzas. But yeah, it's kind of like an 80-20 split, dude. 100% fun, and a good portion of those 80% winners are absolute bangers. But even making the 20% losers, it was fun making them, but something went wrong along the way, and it's usually me turning on the broiler. Yep, or drinking that extra beer. And forgetting, oh crap, I didn't set the timer. Boom, what's that smell? Oh, it's smoke. The pizza's burned. Yeah, 90% or 90% of my 20% failures are burned. So you're gonna hear that a lot. It's gonna be kind of a theme here, but not really, because 80% of the pizzas I make are winners, and 20% of those are bangers. Okay, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Now, so let's make sure that you subscribe, ring the all notifications bell, because you never know what you're going to get around here. But I plan to fool around and find out. In fact, when I was a first-year carpenter apprentice working for an uncle up in Alaska, I happened to be standing around because I didn't know what to do next. He told me to do a task or a couple tasks, and he was just right there. He kept telling me what to do, telling me what to do. When he saw me standing around, he's like, Troy, do something. Even if it's wrong, you'll learn something. Now, I was a smart kid. My uncle knew, and I knew. My uncle didn't mean jump off the roof. You'll learn something. So I started, standing up sheets of plywood next to the foundation, and pretty soon, guys started yelling, "Yo, giddy up, boy!" And here I come. What do you want? Start sliding that plywood up here. So I could foresee what was coming next. It was pretty obvious. Building a house is pretty simple. There's a foundation, there's excavation, a foundation, then backfill, then there's a level 1 deck, then there's first floor walls, second floor deck, second floor walls, then the roof. Woohoo! Anyway, you're going to hear a lot of construction metaphors here also, but I hope you enjoy that, and hope you enjoy the ride. Let's have some fun. Let's fool around and find out. Let's make pizza. Make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Hit that like button and keep me motivated. And join the conversation by leaving a positive comment and chatting with the rest of the pizza people at this never-ending pizza party. You picking up what I'm throwing down? All right, keep coming back, bro. Bye.